All right, so post-game thoughts. The Cowboys, after being embarrassed, and I mean being embarrassed last week by the Arizona Cardinals, literally being punched in the face, literally sucked ass last week. They were ass. When everybody this week questioned what team was going to be out there and how they would respond to Zeke Elliott showing up, they got up off the mat and they ended up playing lights out. The defense, which last week could not stop the run. Dobbs looked like he was like a great player. This week, they gave up on the ground 53 yards after giving up over 200 last week. The Cowboys, I think Dan Quinn did some things a little bit different. He used Hankins and Mozzie Smith a lot more in the middle of the field because it was basically, we're not going to let you run. And Deron Bland, shout out to Deron Bland, who has 8 now interceptions in his young career, the most by a player in the time that he's been in there, filling in the shoes of Diggs. Could it be that we have been actually really, really lucky and having him out there? The defense played lights out. Now, keep in mind, I know what's going to happen tomorrow. People are going to say, this is just New England. New England's a bad team. True, they're a bad team. But this bad team beats guys. Shout out to you, man. Smoking that Pat's pack, Mark. Okay. Keep in mind, this team, they didn't bench Mac Jones against the Eagles. He threw 3 TD passes. Well, Mac Jones against the Cowboys defense had 2 interceptions and a fumble, one of which was a pick 6 by Deron Bland. So the Cowboys defense truly got back on track. And, of course, the offense getting their first red zone touchdown, thank God, with Hunter Lipke, a guy who DMV here, basement coaching the Dallas Cowboys, kept saying, I want to see Hunter Lipke, and points out that a lot of the Dallas Cowboys red zone woes aren't really Dak Prescott. It's scheme and coaching of Mike McCarthy and the way they're calling plays. Now, I will say this much. Now that most people aren't talking about this anymore, okay? Interceptions. Remember last year, interceptions were cool, okay? You know, interceptions were what everybody was talking about last year with Dak Prescott. Dak Prescott, the quarterback of the Dallas Cowboys, the guy that they call Dak Whack Prescott, you know, the guy that they joked about interceptions, has 1 in 4 games. 1 in 4 games. At least they're not turning over the ball. They're definitely more conservative. And again, as my man DMV, definitely check out his channel, although this week he didn't get a lot of content because he's taking care of his kids that are in football and stuff. Shout out to DMV. Definitely check him out. But DMV pointed out, now I lost my train of thought there. We were talking about the red zone, but no, it was beyond that one. Okay, but it'll come back to me, damn it. Listen, understand what I used to do. I used to be the wedge buster. Okay? They outlawed that shit. You don't have a wedge anymore. You don't have guys that bust the wedge, okay? I got brain damage, so let me forget a few things. I'm going to be 58 in about another 10 days, okay? I'm old.
Are you really about to be 58?
Yeah, I'll be 58 October 10th.
God, we must have known you a long time.
You need a segment called Busting the Wedge. When you just
Busting the Wedge.
When you talk about, when you ask the questions that people just... why are we doing this? What are we doing?
Look, I was a wedge buster, okay? Yes, back in the day at JMU. But anyway, the Cowboys are definitely more conservative than they used to be. Oh, I know what it was. But basically, when we were up in this game, we were more conservative as opposed to when Kellen Moore is still slinging the rock, which is one of the reasons why we lost to the Green Bay Packers, being up by 21 points last year. So Mike McCarthy, being another fellow old person, is more conservative and more worried about having mistakes. And that's where you see that the Cowboys are trying to make less of them. But what I'm happy to see is the early part of the game with the Cowboys, before the defense started taking over scoring all the points, I guess they just got tired and said, damn it, we want more points, so we're going to go ahead and we're going to take the rock in there our damn selves. The Cowboys offense, the nice thing that you like to see today was they were shifting the ball around all over the place. You saw Jalen Tolbert getting some. You saw Ferguson, and I am so excited to see Ferguson all of a sudden looking like he's a really good tight end. I've looked at the numbers here, but he had, I believe, 7 catches for about 89 yards. Seeing him do that on every target he had, he came down with. And when you can do that, when you've got a tight end that you can go to that can become a security blanket, that is going to be huge. Now, we got a hellacious week right now. Hellacious week. We got the San Francisco 49ers that just ended up winning against the Cardinals, although the Cardinals did put a little bit of a scare in them for a minute. They were making some hay. They started getting a little confidence, but then, they were just playing with their food, okay? There really was no, they were going to, okay? I don't know what happened to us last week. But hopefully this team, with better red zone calling from Mike McCarthy, hopefully he goes back and gets his shit together on the red zone calling. And what would be your solution there, DMV? More Lipke, which he is about your most physical guy as far as running football. Sorry, Deuce Vaughn, he's not going to be that guy that's going to be physical. He's too small. I am happy to see about Turpin, except for that fumble at the end. That speed that he had on that out, that was just amazing. That was just amazing off tackler. And Bill Belichick with the... that's going to be a meme. That's going to be a meme. So, how you guys feel about going into New England next week? Troy Daniels.
You mean San Fran?
I'm sorry, what did I say?
New England.
So, again, busting the wedge. Troy Daniels won $100 on his parlay. I won $200 on the Cowboys giving up the points. Okay, so that's 2 out of 3 weeks that I've won that. Okay, so I'm back to being up again. Had I been smart, I forgot to do it the first week against the Giants, I would have been up 3 times. But be that as it may, I'm happy that we won. How do we beat the 49ers next week?
I think we have to do a lot of what we did last year as far as keying on where Kyle Juszczyk is.
Mm-hmm.
We have to tackle Christian McCaffrey on first contact.
We got to counter George Kittle.
Make Brock Purdy have to move towards his left because he's still not as strong throwing to his left as he is rolling to his right. Make him uncomfortable. And really just, stay the course.
Mm-hmm.
Score points when you get in the red zone. Yeah, I think we can win. I think it'll be a tough back and forth game.
Okay. E2 Blue, how do we get a win?
With the 49ers?
Mm-hmm.
Come physical like you came this game. Don't bring that crap
Mm-hmm.
that you brought with the Cardinals. Play physical on defense and on offense. Make sure that you're getting your receivers the ball, and we just got to get better in the red zone. We can get better in the red zone.
In other words, don't bring that crap.
Get that ball down in there and get those running backs in there. We'll be good. We got to see what's going on with Rico Dowdle and his little hip injury he had. But
yeah.
Outside of that, we should be fine.
I think that was the only injury that we wrote. Well, Micah Parsons' ankle.
If you could contain McCaffrey,
McCaffrey. Okay.
If you can contain McCaffrey, you got it.
Okay. All right. So that's what they're looking at. Well, we got all week to worry about that one, but right now we got a victory. Thank God. Okay.
You want a victory?
I want a victory. Dallas Cowboys 3-1. Right behind the Eagles, and we have the Commanders at 2-2, and we got the Giants at 1-2 playing tomorrow night against the Seattle Seahawks. We will definitely be live streaming from the Red Brick House for that game. So I'll see you guys there. Christian McCaffrey had 4 TDs today. Well, hopefully Christian McCaffrey, just like used them all up and won't have any for next week. There you go.